Semiconductor has two very important properties. In this video, I have explained one of them. Semiconductor has two very important properties. Number one, with increase in temperature, its conductivity increases. With increase in temperature, its conductivity increases. So, if you increase temperature, conductivity also increases. Now, what happens in conductor? So, if you recall, in case of conductor, if you increase temperature, what happens to resistance? Increases. As a result, conductivity decreases. And second important property is, with addition of impurity, conductivity increases. With addition of impurity, conductivity increases. So, there are two very unique characteristics of semiconductor. So, why this is so? So, first, from my last video, if you have not watched it, watch that. From my last video, you know that in case of semiconductor, you have valence band and conduction band, and there is forbidden gap. So, for electron to conduct, electron has to move from valence band to conduction band. Now, if we consider crystal structure of say semiconductor, say silicon, let me draw it. So, you find silicon has 4 valence electrons. So, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 covalent bonds. Covalent bonds are generally weak bonds. So, what happens is, if you increase temperature, a bond can break. If bond breaks, this electron becomes free. The moment electrons become free, it moves from valence band to conduction band. And the moment you have electron in conduction band, what we say, that material conducts. So, as temperature increases, number of bonds that break also increases. So, number of electron or charge carrier increases. So, we say conductivity increases. Now, if we go into further detail, this electron moves out, it is no more part of that bond. So, we say one vacancy is created here. This is not complete, this bond. So, one vacancy is there. So, any other electron which is there in neighborhood can jump to fill this vacancy. If this electron comes to this, so you have vacancy at this point. Similarly, some other electron can come here, so you have vacancy here. This vacancy we call as hole. So, in semiconductor physics, what we say is we have two charge carrier, number one electron, number two hole. Now, if you look at motion of electron here, so these arrow This indicates direction of motion of electron. But if you look at hole or vacancy, something very interesting is there. It travels in opposite direction. Of course, both the motions are random. So electron and hole travel in opposite direction. It tells you something, that if electron, which we know is negatively charged, what charge one can associate with hole? So we say it is positive, because they move in what direction? Opposite direction. And this phenomena of creation of electron and vacancy or hole with rise in temperature is known as thermal generation. This is known as thermal generation. And one last thing, where is free electron? In conduction band. And where are vacancy or hole? Hole is in valence band. So electron moves in conduction band, of course random motion, and hole moves in valence band. Hole moves in valence band. Watch my next video to understand why conductivity increases with addition of impurity.